Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard live downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. Loaded to the gills for the next 3 hours. Tons to get into, obviously, with the big Giannis trade from last night. The NBA Draft getting closer and closer tonight. Tons on the World Cup as we have England and Ghana underway right now. Will Harry Kane break books across the country by scoring 1 or 2 goals today like everybody else has been?
How excited are you for this? If he scores twice, dim the lights.
I would think so.
Yes, right? FOMO, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the whole world's got it. The whole world had that ticket yesterday. And then you got Ronaldo that got 2 to start.
Got 2 more.
Listen, they won't stop. I know.
As Tom Brady said, and they were talking about this on the broadcast earlier today, he asked the question, is this the best World Cup of all time? And they talked about it during the Portugal game. And they said, well, Tom, based on how many goals have scored to this point, yes, it's the most ever. So Mike Palm, his observations, best bets for today, looking at the next round of games as well in 30 minutes. JV2 was just on before us. He'll go over. He's been all over the NBA draft. The Meat Man Steve Wiss, best bets in soccer, and Derek Stevens as well. Well, you are probably the most impatient person I've ever met in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You were begging for this Giannis Antetokounmpo deal to come to a head for months.
I was livid, yeah.
Probably for more than a year.
Yeah.
Finally happened last night. It took you a minute to respond to me, by the way. I sent Pauly a text. I was thinking I was going to get a text right back. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5. Oh, wow.
Well, disappointing. You know, Nick Whalen was on yesterday. Good to have you back, by the way. Happy Father's Day. This was, you go back to the first Shams tweet. It was May of last year. How long this went on. So he wouldn't flat out say, trade me. He wouldn't say, I'll only sign the extension in Miami or Boston. They do it at midnight on the day of the draft, right, as he's flying back in. So why it took so long, who knows? Why they couldn't make up their mind. But at least I feel good for Riley that he's able to do this. But I think it's absolutely lunacy and asinine what they've done in the futures market, considering you're not going to keep Powell. And you had to gut the team. I know.
Oh my God.
Which say, okay, Powell, 21 a game, not going to be there. Hero, 20 a game, gone. Can they keep Wiggins? That remains to be seen. Jaquez in the trade, 15 a game. So your spacing is questionable. You don't have many shooters, and this is a team that was in the play-in. So how are they the third choice to win the East?
I have no idea. Books are protecting themselves from what? They are, I mean, we can make a case.
The Miami money.
So would I. I would welcome it. I would say, you want 25-1? You want more than that? And by the way, like if you, this is the game that you had to play, right? Because we talked about this with prediction markets. Is he going to end up with Boston? Is he going to go to Miami? They were kind of flipping for a while, which team was a short shot to get him. So if you guessed correctly or had if you firmly believe that it was going to be Miami at the end and you bet the Heat to win and have a ticket right now at 40-1, are you even feeling good about a 40-1 ticket in pocket? I don't need, Paul, if the books would say, you know what, screw it, we're going to go back and offer the Heat to what they were before they got Giannis.
Yeah.
You can have that number. I don't even know if I would bet that number. 14-1? Not a chance.
There's a book that has plus 450 to win the East. Come on. Detroit's better. Boston's better. The Knicks are better. Cleveland's better. I would argue Atlanta's better. They at least won 2 games against the Knicks. They could make another move, too.
How about the Pacers?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. I know that's a fact.
How about the Hornets?
That the Pacers, maybe. The Pacers are, yes.
Yeah.
They went to Game 7 of the finals, and they added Zubac.
Yeah, if Halliburton comes back and he's close to 100%, that might be a huge if. I don't know. And then what's going to happen with Jaylen Brown, which we can dive into here, because all of a sudden there are reports out, and we're going to hear from Brian Windhorst in a second, but there are some Eastern Conference teams, one of which you already named, maybe more, that if they landed Jaylen Brown, and it depends on what they would have to do to get him, obviously, if they gutted their team, forget it, changes it. But if they could add Jaylen Brown, they go ahead of Miami, in my opinion.
Not bad. I do think the Bucks did the right thing, though, because if you acquire Brown, you have to worry about, does he want to stay in Milwaukee long term? He has a $300 million contract. You are paying 3 different coaches. You are still paying Lillard, and you're still paying Turner.
Think about that.
So that would have been ugly. So I think they did the right thing in what they decided to do at the end. But to your point, this is This isn't done, even though Boston didn't get Giannis, and he was a good-sized favorite yesterday at Pauly Market. This is Brian Windhorst today that the Celtics could still move Brown.
Boston is in a situation where they have put for the whole world out there Jaylen Brown, their finals MVP. They, of course, knew it was possible they were going to lose to Miami. They wanted to win. They made a very strong offer, but they were not willing to put their entire team in. They were not willing to put other pieces in because on the other side of this trade, they had to have a team. And so now what I expect to happen is a bidding war for Jaylen Brown from other teams in the league. In the most recent days, teams have been preparing for this eventuality, that it wouldn't be the Boston Celtics who won the Giannis sweepstakes and that there would be a Jaylen Brown market. And so we're going to watch that. I think it'll take some time to play out, but if there's a draft pick involved, it could happen today. I don't think that's likely, but it could happen today.
Strong. So let me give you some of the teams. This was thrown out there from Shams earlier today as well. There is actually only one team in the East, but that team is the Atlanta Hawks. Like you said, they might be better than them already. Well, what if they get Jaylen Brown and they have a bunch of people that they could make where I don't think they would have to gut the team to get Brown? Brown was freaking awesome last year. The other teams are all from the West. The Rockets, I'm guessing that Durant would be involved. Is that a good thing for the Celtics? The Blazers.
Like it.
The Clippers.
Possible.
The Spurs.
No. Oh, no.
Hey, Boston, you want De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah, okay.
Then what?
That's a bad contract. Yeah, sure. Sure, absolutely.
The Denver Nuggets. Now we're really cooking here. How good would the West be then and the Pelicans?
Well, if Stevens kept saying, I want to change the way we play, and how they went out and blew a 3-1 series lead, and you're worried about that relationship now with Brown and Tatum, you've said maybe they're trading away the wrong guy. Maybe they should trade away Tatum, but because they were able to get the 2 seed. But how about, and a lot of media members got this wrong, and especially Chris Haynes, who said Boston was in the lead comfortably late last night. You didn't make this trade because you wouldn't include Hugo and Shireman?
Are you serious?
Is this what prevented you from getting the guy?
According to multiple reports.
Okay.
What are we doing here?
No kidding.
For Giannis, you're that high on Hugo Gonzalez and Shireman? What has happened to the NBA? That is absolutely baffling to me. And then you had other Boston media defending it. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
The guy's
I don't want to par with those guys. Are you sure?
Yeah.
For Greek Freak.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, one of my biggest takeaways from the whole thing is the biggest winner, I think, the Knicks. Because the Heat, I don't know if this really does much to the Heat in terms of being an Eastern Conference winner or an NBA title contender. And also the Celtics not getting him. That's probably a really good thing for the New York Knicks. Mm-hmm. And they are 3-1, maybe a little bit higher than that to win the East.
I think the only bet to be made is on the Pacers, the team that no one's talking about, that took down the Knicks the last 2 years when they were healthy. I think that's the only team you can throw a future on.
I'm glad you brought up Zubac, by the way.
Oh, he's excellent.
That team is going to, I think, catch some people by surprise at how they could look to begin the season. Assuming, again, full health for, most of their guys. But I also think, by the way, side note, I think the haul was good enough for Milwaukee that they now moved at some spots to 500-1. I guess maybe they're a little bit higher to win next year. In fact, we're looking at the odds screen right now. DK has 80-1 to win the East. Other books have like 500-1 to win the title. So if that number actually correlates with their win total, and they keep this team together, because there are going to be suitors for Tyler Hero, but if Milwaukee says, we want to see, because we have tonight in the draft, we have 10 and 13 overall now in the lottery. Maybe they move up. Maybe they keep those picks.
You could do that.
It's a loaded draft. So if they come away with 2 nice players or 1 if they trade, and they keep this whole team now together, I will absolutely be on a win total over for this team next year. I mean, assuming the number is correct, somewhere probably, 500-1, are you going to put a 35 win total on there? You can't. It's got to be lower than that.
Well, there's some depth now too.
Yeah.
Your Charlotte team's going to be tough. Toronto was the 5 seed, and then I don't know what the Wizards are doing. I mean, already Brian Windhorst called that. They just gave it to him. Called it the worst contract in the NBA. You get the number one pick, and then for whatever reason, you give Trae Young $200 million. What are they doing?
I have absolutely
I was
no
stunned
clue.
With that, by that, and it just Atlanta couldn't wait to get rid of him and soared after they traded him, and at least gave the Knicks a run for their money.
Do you
and
agree?
They immediately come in and give the guy $200 million.
Is it worse than the De'Aaron Fox contract? Is it worse than the Chet Holmgren contract? If I can speak here.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, because Holmgren had a bad series against the Spurs, but he's still a good player. And
okay, Wemby outplayed him and made him look foolish.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
But this guy, he's, as I said yesterday, he's the Kirk Cousins of the NBA. What does he have? 2 playoff series wins? And how well the team played without him? Why did you do that?
Right.
It's like what the Sixers did with Embiid. He wasn't even asking for the extension. And he was always
They said,
hurting.
"Here you go.
Here you go. Here's another 3 years, 4 years. Let's tack it on."
Yeah.
And why that's right up there now with Trae Young.
Yeah. Again, a little bit more here on the Heat. I do think that defensively they're going to be awesome. How are they not?
Okay, fair.
But they clearly need a bunch of shooting, a bunch of ball handling, like guys that are able to get their own shot offensively. Like they need depth. How are they going to plug the gap?
I know. It's like when the Knicks got Melo. Yeah, you got your superstar, your big name, but look what you had to give up so much to get the guy. Though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I think if it's a pretty good haul for the Bucks at the end of the day.
Yes, I'm with you. The other thing too, this is unmitigated disaster if Harry Kane scores the first goal.
Oh, the first one.
Other one.
Yeah,
those are also in there.
We
too.
will discuss this coming up next. The World Cup. This game's in action as we speak in the 12th minute now, and I think Paul's right. A wrecking ball to books if Kane scores a couple here.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Okay, a developing situation here. World Cup, England, Ghana. This is in the 15th minute now. Harry Kane was going for a header, and then a Ghana defender came up at the same time, and he pelted him in the back of the head, like almost on the brainstem. It knocked Kane down to the pitch. He was surrounded by his teammates, and here we advance to right now. He is evidently okay because he is still on the pitch. But I think that many people across the country and beyond, they were holding their breath thinking, oh my God, please do not be a concussion. Please allow this man to still be in the game because I have so much tied into Kane scoring a goal today. Please let him stay out there.
And you saw that ticket that these guys can win $800,000 if Kane scores 2. And Fanatics offered a $130,000 cash out as they had the big 3 and then Harry Kane. And they all came in last week. It's just nuts. And where you look, and every single person on social media had the FOMO parlay yesterday, you included. And even to score a goal anytime. Imagine if Haaland scored the first goal of the match. How bloody that would have been.
Yeah.
But so 6 days ago, Messi gets the hat trick. Haaland gets 2. Mbappe gets 2. The next day, Kane gets 2. And then yesterday, in the 95th minute, Messi scores to cover the spread. His second goal. Mbappe gets 2 on a Mickey Mouse junior high goal giveaway, which was a gift. And then Haaland scores 2. And you're talking anywhere from 80 to 90 to 1. And it's higher than that if you used a boost on what transpired. I cannot believe it. It happened again. If you rolled it over, you're up $1 million.
Yeah, so we're looking right now at one that was at the Hard Rock. And it was Messi, Mbappe, and Haaland.
Yeah, their tweets were awesome.
Oh, somebody had $1,600 on it basically to win $147,000.
They tweeted after Messi scored 2, they go, oh boy, if Mbappe and Haaland scored, we are in trouble.
Yeah, well.
And how about 2? Yeah, forget about scoring. They got 2.
I'm also, of all the tweets that came in yesterday, and for people to have this, if you go back a week ago like you talked about, remember we had the, why do we not do this bet? How? We're live on the air.
Well, two's hard, I think.
All three of those players are in. But there are other ways to do it, though. It could have been just a single goal parlay,
Sure.
or it could have been to bet the first guy and then just to keep rolling it over throughout the entire day's action.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on the air live as the whole thing developed. We're like, oh, this is unbelievable.
Well, it was set up beautifully because they played right in a row.
That's right.
Bang,
Boom,
bang.
boom, boom.
Yeah, boom, boom,
So
boom.
we said they're going to play again next week. We have to do this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so it's like I'm looking at the schedule, and this goes back to Sunday night, and I'm trying to put the parlay together. And at best I could find was 90-ish, 92 to 1, right around that territory with no bonus. I was like, I'm going to see if a book is going to offer a bonus on this tomorrow. And I woke up in the morning and I checked, and they offered it. It was, by the way, it went up. It was like 102 to 1. And then with a bonus, it got to 132 to 1. Max bet was $100. I'm like, okay, let me just see if they'll actually take 100 on this.
Why would they do a boost on that? Because everyone's going to bet it anyways. Just lower the odds. By the way, if you run a social media account for a sports book and everyone has the same bet and it's 90, 100 to 1 and you offer 60, I wouldn't tweet that out.
Well,
That's a way to lose customers.
yeah, so there are many discussions here to be had. I know the book that you're talking about. Here's the deal. Their odds on something like this will typically be lower, much lower, like yesterday.
Uh-huh.
But you pretty much know for a fact that you can get a big bet down there.
Well,
These other books,
but if I hit this ticket and it's 100 to 1 and I bet it at the other place and it's 55 to 1.
I understand.
I'm like, what is going on? It's the exact same bet, but my payout's cut in half. What's going on?
Sure. And I'll tell you the truth here. Like if I fully expected to get down between $4 and $11. That's typically what the feedback is when I try to get a bet down at that particular book. So when it went through, I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably good with that. But had they taken a typical, like, let's say it was a $9 bet or whatever, I would have shopped around and I would have taken, if 88 to 1 was still out there here in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
I just don't know what that price, I
Yeah.
don't know what that number would have been on the bet that I would have gotten down on.
DK has great odds on this.
Yeah.
Fanatics appears to have the best.
Well, wait till this is going to blow
And
your
also
doors
FanDuel.
off.
Yeah, I'm not talking about boost. I'm just talking about to play all these guys to score 2 goals or all these guys to score a goal or first goal. And again, if it was bloody as hell yesterday, imagine if Howland scored first. Then everything comes in.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just one of those things where everybody thought about it.
Yeah.
So why would you not bet it just in case it does come in again? And I would say that we are looking at right now, and I know some people were like, oh, it was so squared to make this bet again. That's why they're offering the boost. You can think whatever you want to think about this. But we are watching the greatest soccer player in the history of the game, Messi, at the same time in the same tournament as this Erling Haaland dude is one of the biggest and most fierce specimens I've ever seen on the pitch in my entire life. And Mbappe is one of the most gifted players in the world on the best team, or arguably the best team. And so they're huge favorites in these games as well. Well, France was, right?
Yes, you hit on it.
And so
they're playing an overmatched opponent.
Correct.
It's a historic World Cup with a ton of goals, and these guys are the best in the world.
And you're exactly right. And then they're also noticing what everybody else is doing. And I don't know if these teams are going out of their way to get more opportunities, but this race for the Golden Boot has turned into April and May for the NL Cy Young. I mean, it was just unbelievable for the first 2 months in baseball, and that's what we're getting out of the gates. So you might as well try to capitalize before it's too late. And this is the one that you're talking about at. Think about this for a second. And we don't have Fanatics in Nevada. I've never placed a bet there. And so I don't know what they're like. But this was sent to me last night on X. Somebody had Mbappe, Messi, Haaland, just 2 each. The regular number they were offering was 239 to 1. 239 to 1. There was a 100% profit boost.
Come on.
That they gave this or offered this particular bettor. Now, I don't know if that was available for everybody, but for this person, they put $50 on it, and it paid out, $23,950. Now they're going to have to pay taxes because it's over 300 to 1.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Oh well's right. The whole world had this yesterday. That everyone, because the sports books were asking, show the tickets, and it's just okay, sure, here you go, not a problem.
Yeah.
And you're also thanks for offering a boost. If it happens again Friday, some will shut down. Like Haaland's even 9 to, because France plays Norway.
That's right.
So Haaland's 9-1 himself to get 2.
Right.
And then Messi plays at night.
And
so
and Mbappe's actually a pretty decent number as well, just because of how the contest figures to go.
Bad. Yeah, right.
And oh, by the way, like those two teams, basically, other than like who's going to be the official winner of the group, what do they have to play for?
Mm-hmm.
They're in.
Did you want to hedge after Haaland scored early?
I looked.
You were
I couldn't find anything in Nevada, so I reached out to some friends, and at a prediction market, based on the price, it was right around minus 250 for him not to score again. And as I'm going back and forth with my buddy, well, how should I approach this? And he's like, how much do you want to get down? I'm thinking about it. He scored again. And then I had to wait out that 3-minute window of whether or not they were going to go to VAR, and it was going to be ruled offsides, and thank God it wasn't, and that just happened bang, bang, bang. And now he should have scored twice earlier in the match in that span of like 15 seconds. How does he not dribble that a couple more times and then score? He hits the crosser, then misses with the header. Messi misses the PK in like the 9th minute, and all is right in the world because he scored in the 95th then to make it okay.
And 6 favorites have won in a row now, too. That's
another thing, too.
Like I saw Dave Mason tweet that out. It's like the whole world has an Argentina-France parlay.
And today, probably tied into Portugal and now England here.
That's right.
By the way, we're going to do our pizza jar, tip jar for the pizzeria coming up at 5:45 Eastern. That's 2:45 out here on the West Coast. We got to see them. Send them in. Email here is ftm@vsin.com. You can also send them on X at vsin live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. Also, our producer Luke at Luke DIV on X as well. He tweets his graphic out every single time that we do this. We want to see what you had on this yesterday, because that wasn't the only way that I approached it. Because I told myself,
yeah, right.
Well, if that's a loser, I still got to try to make money on this. So I bet, and again they were staggered. So I bet Messi at even money to score. I rolled that over and then some into Mbappe. He was higher than $2 by the way to score.
Oh, right. Oh yeah.
And then I rolled that over into Haaland to score here at Circa last night at even money. And I also played him on a one goal parlay yesterday.
Yeah, that was nuts. He was like plus 350 at one book to have a hat trick. Come on.
I know.
But
yeah.
And then Ronaldo does it in the first match today.
Sure. That's another one too.
Yes.
And
the first goal.
And the guy to watch now moving forward would be that player on Spain who scored 2 in the last match, who was a popular pick to win the Golden Boot as well. If they have a chance to get him a couple more, watch out. He's going to be on parlays as well, is my guess. Unbelievable tournament, though. This is the great in our time zone with these matches going on all day long. You can't beat this.
Yep. And then we got starting tomorrow. We have 6 matches a day: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Absolute bedlam. I don't think Ghana scores. This feels like 2-0 final England.
We'll expand on today's card coming up. Mike Palm on the program. He'll explain why the final games of group play must be looked at much differently than the first 2 rounds next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Get some bets here, observations, look ahead to the final games of group play. Mike Palm joins the program now, VP here, Circa Las Vegas, loves betting on soccer. Now his favorite sport for 6 years running.
Stop.
I will say that for June 23rd at 1:30 Pacific time, the book looks pretty damn awesome right now for how many people are here for this match. I'm guessing Stadium Swim is probably sold out.
Stadium Swim, the crowd that came in between noon and 1 here Pacific time was amazing. And it's always walk-up business, right? There are some reservations, but for the most part, it's walk-up business. And there was a steady stream of people where we're probably close to 2,000 up there right now. And the book looks great. Of course, it's 90% fans of the United Kingdom here, of England, because the sun never sets on the British Empire.
What do you think? 2-0 seem about right? Ghana going to score?
From your lips to God's ears, because I need under 2.5.
Okay.
I was very tempted to play Ghana plus 2.5 as well. I just think Ghana can defend. I watched the whole game against Panama. There were very little scoring opportunities. But there's an overall theme here, guys. And as I turn this way, because the screen is here, the the floor of what we thought Africa was is much higher.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we don't watch these teams, right? I mean, very few people bet the Africa Cup of Nations like I do, right? And watch these national teams. But all these teams, DR Congo, and the results of, not the big, we know about Morocco, right? We know about those. But these teams that have been able to compete and win and draw these giants, it's been unbelievable. And I know we don't talk a lot of geopolitics because you guys are the pop culture. It's been branded for 8 years. But think about this. When you look at all population studies, Paul, by the time we get to 2100, Africa will have almost as many people as Asia. Meanwhile, Europe will have about 2/3 of the people it does now as it continues to contract. I don't know if these European teams will continue to hold their dominance in football as you have more and more of these African nations developing, and more people means more and more chances for talent. Here in America, there's just too many other options to play basketball and football and baseball and hockey. We will never dominate, although I hope they can make a deep run and they'll start establishing more programs.
I want to ask the audience, and I'll ask you because we don't have volume, and you watch all these matches. Is Alexi Lawless that bad?
I think in some ways, as Americans, when we only have that, and we've listened to him now for a dozen years, and then you have all of these other people come in for a World Cup that's held here, people say, oh, this was what our top commentator was? We've been deprived. I made this comment, and when I did my show in Chicago on Saturday, and I was there in studio, I drove over because I was in Iowa. The depth of the both studios and the booths is amazing in soccer, right? That they can bring all these people in from around the world. These are great teams. Like, ESPN tries to do college baseball and regional weekend, and you got to get down to the Q team, right? And it gets pretty rough. But in soccer, they can have all these people in all these different venues and have amazing quality broadcasts, both the play-by-play guy and the color guy and the studio teams, which they have a bunch of. This Kasper Schmeichel looks like he's 9 feet tall. It's everybody that he works with midgets. I mean, he's only 6'4", but he towers over everybody else they put him with. Maybe that's in his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to your point about the African nations, I know they're not going to advance. I think Senegal should be proud of their showing. I thought they were
tough for Senegal, right? Really
oh
tough.
My God,
huh?
That draw for them? Are you serious?
And Eduardo Mendy, who was been the best goaltender in the MLS for many. I mean, Mendy's a really good goaltender. It was tough, all the chances that teams had against them. I mean, Senegal's a top flight team, and they're going home. But you can't say Africa's bad because of that. Look at the draw there.
Yeah, I know. So you have a big bet on the under 2.5 here, plus money. Okay,
I do.
We'll cross our fingers and hope that one comes in for you. What is your advice overall for the audience right now about how betting the final games of group play are it's a different animal than like the first couple of rounds?
Well, it's really totally different because it's like betting the second leg, right? Because now we know what the results will give us. We're in these first two stages of group play. You're just handicapping the game. Now you have to handicap the situations. What does each team need? Because that definitely affects play, especially in the second half of games. We could just handicap the teams these first two rounds of group play, right? And you're just giving your handicap of the matchup. Now you have to look at all the outcomes. Are teams looking to get, what do they think is going to be these 8 third-place finishers, right? I think the Canada-Switzerland match tomorrow.
Yeah.
They both advance with a draw, right? And you can get the draw north of plus $2. I think that really comes into play here. And I know, Paul, you've talked about just blindly betting the draw has been profitable, even though we didn't have any draws yesterday. You have to take that into consideration. Now you have to say, well, the Swiss, Canada, because of the goal differential, would win the group, right? Because they put up the 6 against Qatar. But when you get into a late game situation there, Canada would certainly be happy with a tie because they advance as the number 1 team in the group. So I think you have to look at it that way. And if Canada was up a goal, they're not trying to get 2. They don't need the margin. So I think those things come into consideration for people that haven't bet soccer before. The third game of a group stage is much different than the first 2.
Let me ask you this based on everything that you just said. Yep. And a great observation there. So if you rewind to last week and we saw all that star power pop right away with Mbappe in France and then Holland and Norway, not yesterday, but last week, you could bet on when they play, and that's later on this week. It's on, Friday? So there was a 2.5 posted, even money to the over. And I have a decent bet on it, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's like minus 170 to the over.
Yep.
But should I get off that bet? Because, yes, the winner is going to take, is it that big of a deal if you win the group? Like, are we going to get fireworks in that game?
I do think that it is a big deal to win the group because we have an extra game. We're not at the 16 now when you get to the knockout stage. We're at 32. And I think we saw, like Spain in the first game, they're trying to manage minutes already because you have to win 8 games. You still have to win 5 games now.
Yeah.
And I think you have a much advantage to win a group and get a third-place team so that you can rest starters and then get a better draw. You're even getting a better draw into that group of 16, right, when you get down to the final 16 matchups. I do think it's a big deal. I don't think people are going to be sitting. Like for the USA and Turkey, there's somebody who wants to bet $250,000 on the USA-Turkey game here, and we're going to take it after lineups are announced. I don't feel comfortable with that. To me, that's a friendly. Turkey's going home. They're probably going to fire the management team. The USA is going to play in Santa Clara on the first no matter what, right? We already know these things. This is a preseason baseball game. Yeah. This is a friendly. I don't feel comfortable taking that, but we're going to take it, and I get the arguments for it because it's a good player. I just think it's really risky.
Interesting. How about Panama, Croatia?
This is a player that hasn't made a World Cup bet either the whole time.
Yeah.
So
been waiting in the weeks.
250 on the USA's final game, which is the example of a meaningless game. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Paul.
You think BTTS? Panama, Croatia coming up? Any thoughts?
That's interesting. I like Croatia in this matchup. And, look around at the different
high
books.
now.
I bet -1.
Okay.
-1.5 is a plus. I found -1, -137 here. I looked at that. Obviously Panama played this Ghana team, right? That was just a square dead under game. I was actually at the South Point watching that game the whole time. Hadn't been there in a while. And then, they got a breakaway and they scored in extra time. But not a lot of chances on either side. You might have said Panama might have had a little bit better of the run of play. I think Croatia got caught chasing that game. They made some bad mistakes. The penalty, you don't mark Kane in the box. I think Croatia can correct their play and be better. I'm not sure Panama can raise their game much off the Ghana affair.
Colombia? Meatman likes Colombia. I bet Colombia.
Colombia is a really fun team to watch.
Yes, they are.
They are incredibly skilled. I bet this game over 2.5.
Okay.
Plus 113 here because they might have had the prettiest goals of the tournament so far, Colombia, and they have an incredible crowd. We saw it when we had the Copa here in America. Even here, we had so many Colombians here, right? They were traveling all around. They are a very well-supported side. I like Colombia a lot, and I think they're an over team, and I think the Congo may be able to get a goal. I look at like 2-1, 3-1 in this game.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's, because Meatman's going to have a good breakdown on that coming up in about an hour when
he likes
going to join the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he'll explain why at that point. Okay, what are you looking at for tomorrow? You're going to be on the show again tomorrow, but anything early before you pop on the show?
Well, let's talk about the 2 noon games. I took the draw at plus 210 with Canada and Switzerland.
Okay, yep.
I just think it makes a lot of sense. And really trying to break down these two sides, I don't know that there's a lot that separates them. Is the Canada the awful team of the draw with Bosnia-Herzegovina, or are they the team that beat Qatar? Now, I get there were 2 red cards, and the game got to be a runaway. But you had to think Canada was better, and you had to think Swiss was better off their draw with Qatar, too.
That is terrible.
I just think that the 2 teams are close, and when a draw suits both of them, why not take it at more than plus $2?
All right. Let me ask you this. For people that want more advice on something like this, and you love to bet unders, is there a point in this match in a perfect world where you look to middle your bet? It's scoreless right now, 40th minute.
I don't know. I might look to cash out. I can go on right now and look and see what my cash out option is. I don't want to jinx myself by doing that. No. But
what is it, 1.5 minus 140 now?
I'm not. I would never try to do 1.5, Mitch. No, I would wait till I could get over a half.
Over half, yeah.
Right now, my cash out option is, as it comes up,
that's
about 40% more than my bet was. It's not bad right now.
Pretty good right now.
A significant amount.
Yeah.
$30 million.
So it's about a $450 winner.
Sorry, $30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000 with no rake. Circa Millions, 18 weeks. Circa Survivor and Circa Grandissimo. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. CircaSports.com. $30 million guaranteed.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you.
Back at you.
Belatedly. Thank you so
back
much.
at you,
I know
buddy.
it's the experience of your life.
Thank you for popping on. Good to see you again. Win, lose.
See you
coming up
tomorrow.
next. Yes.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
45th minute, 0-0. Draw plus 245. England minus 245. 1.5 the total. Over minus 130. Portugal wins 5-0. Goal in the first 10 plus 390. Ronaldo first goal plus 250. Ronaldo 2 goals plus 240. Own goal plus 550. The 9th of the tournament already. The big three did it again. Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, 2 goals each, anywhere from 80 to 100-1. Bigger if you had the boost. 7-1 would they each score a goal with the parlay. France, Mbappe first goal plus 220. Mbappe 2 goals plus 195. Exact score 3-0, 6-1. Norway, Senegal 3-2. Exact score 30-1. A great match. Haaland 2 goals plus 475. BTTS minus 140. Algeria and Jordan 2-1 exact score plus 850. BTTS plus 105. Will a team come from behind and win 10-1? That was Algeria. Unders in MLB went 10-2, and the Royals were plus 175. They couldn't get the Waka. Tampa lost 2-1 at home. Oklahoma was 80-1 before the season started to win the College World Series. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. It's been too long. Welcome back, Mitch. Coming in with the hippo. Picking it up like picks up the watermelon like it's a Tic Tac. Look at the size of his head. He's like a dinosaur. Oh, my God. Can't get enough of these hippo videos. A freight train coming at you. And here the gentle giants at times, although a vicious animal, just coming over and wants the watermelon. I love when it just picks it up, no problem. Give me the second one.
Well, it's smashed into a million pieces within like 2 seconds.
Here it is, right? Open up. I'll drop it in there for you. Right? Like a Kit Kat. Break me off a piece. No problem. That goes into a million pieces. Look at the size of his head.
Oh,
it's
man.
It's incredible how big they are. They can just destroy a watermelon like that. Oh, God, that's nuts. That is awesome.
I just wonder the first person who ever decided to think, like the idea popped into their brain.
Or a pumpkin.
Yeah, let's just see.
See what happens.
And they happen to love them, and they just smash them in 2 seconds.
Oh, God. That is great. I love they do that at the Cincinnati Zoo on a regular basis.
What's the name of that hippo at the Cincy Zoo?
The kid, yeah.
Roxy?
No, the kid.
Rocco? No. Who'd you say, Luke? Fiona?
Fiona's the mom. I can't remember the kid's name.
All right.
You got me now. Bad beats. Austria plus 105. Plus 1.5, excuse me. Messi scores in the 95th minute. Mercury plus 6. Led by 16. The fever covered. Oh, my aching ass. I'm like in House of Dragon mode with it. I can't keep up. There's so many characters, and there was a 2-year break between seasons, and I got to catch up, and it's like there's 10 dragons flying around. Who can keep track of all this stuff? Yeah. Now you stumped me. I gotta remember the kid's name.
Well, Fiona pops up right away.
That's the mom, yeah. Fitzy! It's Fitzy.
Fritz.
Fritzy.
Fritz. It's Fritz.
Fritz
Yep.
and Fiona.
Okay.
Good, okay. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. All of it documented. Winning for 15 straight years. AI plays up 30-plus units. Respected, watched, and feared. When they move, the books take notice. Look for the Mr. Poison tweets every day. And they reach out to over 500 bettors and sources worldwide across all sports. Send it out to subscribers in real time. Phenomenal job. They've been with us since day one. Support them. They support us. Start winning with them. Get the Telegram as well. Sharpplays.com. Get them now, sharpplays.com.
NBA Draft is set for tonight. I'm looking at 2 different sports books right now, one of which is DraftKings, and I'm comparing it side by side to an offshore book. And the offshore book has minus 1,500 now. Demands to go number 1 overall. DK is at minus 700. DK was at minus 800 earlier today, so they came back a little bit. Darren Peterson is 6-1. And that would be it, the way it appears, obviously. Number 2, Peterson's now minus 310. Boozer plus 350. And then to go third overall, Boozer minus 330. Peterson plus 350. Is there even a path at this point?
It seems, I think you follow the money here. He was $1.40 to go second before the show started yesterday. Now he's up to 310. The big move on Boozer. We know who's going 4 with Wilson. He's $8. And now There's some steam on who's going to go 5th as well. So we'll see if they can nail this 1 through 5.
I wonder if that's just because it came out that Peterson told media that he met with the Jazz.
I think it's also a couple respected people who for weeks had Boozer going 2nd and then switched up. A couple big names that cover the league. That might have something to do with it as well, with their mocks. Perhaps a little bit of both.
Well, if the steam is right now, that's not going to be good for the bets that I have in pocket, which Boozer to go 2nd overall, Peterson to go 3rd overall as well.
I would take Boozer if I'm Utah, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah, I still think that they might tonight. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I did add some stuff that I think you can still find out there. I don't know what the price is because Nevada had to pull stuff yesterday, as they always do before the draft. I took Acuff to go 7th overall. I can't even believe those words are coming out of my mouth, and I can't believe that the other 2 players that might go ahead of him at 5 and 6, if that's accurate tonight, and a guy like Wagler comes off the board, and maybe Brown comes off the board before Acuff.
Do you think he'll go 5th? He's $1.70 now.
Who?
Wagler.
Yeah. Snap call,
that's big.
huge mistakes by those 2 teams.
Yeah.
Passing on Acuff, you can't be serious with this.
Who, the Clippers?
Yes.
You would take him?
Yes, you can't possibly watch Wagler and Acuff in college and say, I got to tell you, I like the upside on Wagler better. Are you out of your minds? Huge mistake.
Okay.
And so I bet him to go 7th overall, Acuff that is, at plus 175. Again, I don't even know what the number is because they're off the board here in Nevada. And I bet him to go over 6.5 at I think plus 110 or 115 the other day as well. I took a shot on, this is a long shot. This is still out there if you look. I took Steinbach, the kid from Washington. Remember, Bruce Marshall loved him. He said he would take a number 1 overall in the draft when we were breaking down college basketball games last year before March Madness. I took him, because you never know like how this might play out, 8, 9, 10, something like that.
Yeah.
I took him 10-1 to go top 10 and a little bit higher than that to go to the Thunder at number 12. And I saw Julian Edlow tweet about this after the Dusty May news that shocked me the other day. So now with the Mavericks picking 9th overall, Edlow was like, look at these numbers on the Michigan players that go 9th overall.
Tough call, though. Like, does he immediately come in and have say? I don't know.
Maybe that was part of the deal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'll take this job. Can we take a Michigan player 9th?
Does he have hand?
Does he have hand?
I don't know if he has hand. You're going to need it.
Do you have hand often, Pauly?
Have hand.
Yeah. It's a nice feeling to have hand.
I've had sometimes more than others. You get the hand and the upper hand, the relationship. Nick Whalen made this case, though. There's been a move on Tennessee, top 10, top 9. Maybe he goes to Dallas at 9. Maybe he goes 10 to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And there's been some steam on him, too.
Oh, he has been
that
mocked several times to the Bucks at number 10.
I could see that, yes.
He
could sneak in there. Your guy now, Acuff, minus $2 at DraftKings to go 7th.
Oh, so that is still, okay, all right, yeah.
Minus $2. And then Human's pick was Fleming's, right? That he moved the market?
Under 9.5, yeah.
Right, okay. I would say he's the favorite to go to Atlanta at 8. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think that'll happen.
Okay. What did you say the current number is under 9.5? Humans was at even, when he talked about it on the air last week, it was even money.
I don't see it anymore.
Okay. Yeah, it moved immediately to like minus 950. And then it's basically
minus 230. Okay.
Okay, well, it came back a little bit.
Yep, came back. Sorry.
And the Caleb Wilson thing is he's minus 750 to like minus $9 to go 4th overall. Is there any way the Bulls, I think, because that would be shocking to me if they take somebody else, and the odds board tells you the same thing. If they were to go kind of, I guess, off the radar and go with somebody, because everybody has him pegged going like it's the number, like other than maybe DeBanza going number 1, I feel like Caleb Wilson going 4th to the Bulls tonight is the most sure thing.
Fair.
Based on every mock and how much the Bulls evidently love the kid, and he's going to be available. Some have said that he's got a better ceiling or better potential pro career than Boozer. The more you look into the analytics and talking about like the pro upside of Boozer, I think my initial thought of him as a pro prospect. If these numbers bear out, I'm going to be wrong on what I thought about him playing in the pros. The numbers tell you that Boozer can be just phenomenal.
Can this draft live up to the hype?
I hope
mean,
so.
But it's insanity though. I mean, this is an insane draft and all the talent. You can get a good player at 15, 14. Imagine the player OKC can grab. and all those Michigan guys sitting there.
You're telling me that Yaxel can't play in the pros in a couple years?
I think he'd be a good pro.
And he's going to go 12, 13, 14, 15?
Right.
Wow. We're going to expand on the draft coming up next, try to make him some money. VSiN's Jonathan Von Tobel on the program. Does he think the order is set from 1 through 4 based on everything he's reading? And he's adamant on this player going over his draft position.